Thanks for tuning into EskimoTV, your home for icy and chilly movie reviews. I'm your host, Jason Escamilla. Bohemian Rhapsody tells the story of the rock band Queen and focuses specifically on the lead singer Freddie Mercury's life. This movie was directed by Bryan, who actually left production towards the end. He was like, bye Felicia, and was replaced with Dexter Fletcher, who finished out the film. I think it definitely shows a little bit. There's parts where this movie feels like it was created by a couple of different people. There's parts where this movie goes really deep emotionally, and then parts where it just feels like a Queen music video. However, I had a really fun time with Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought that it was very informative and entertainingly so. I wasn't bored while I was watching this movie, despite the fact that this is a fairly long movie. It's over 2 hours long. It did test my patience a little bit, but I felt like the music was great. I felt like the story was very well done. I had heard of Queen before, but I am not someone to say I was a big #1 fan of Queen. I actually went into this movie with no expectations, and I came out and had a fairly decent time. I enjoyed myself. Rami Malek portrays lead singer of Queen tremendously well. He is the sell of the movie, and I think he should definitely be nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor. I was mesmerized by his performance. I thought that every scene in him was very well executed. I thought that his performance was very convincing. I felt like he really disappeared into the role of being Freddie Mercury. And that's not an argument. All the critics that are having problems with this movie, no one's arguing over his performance. In fact, that is the thing that everyone is unanimously praising. And so if you want to see someone who's going to portray an awesome Freddie Mercury, go check out this movie. Everyone's saying that this actor did an extremely good job. And so a lot of the criticisms for this movie, and I can see why people would be upset by them, but as someone who is just completely brand new to this movie, it didn't really bother me. I've heard that, one, it feels a little bit too generic. It felt like most band formation groups feel at the very beginning of this band forming, people doubting them, that they're not going to be a success, them proving them wrong, and it does spend a good amount of the movie focusing on that. But if that's what happened, then that's what happened, and maybe they could have edited it to be shorter, but I was not bothered by some of these maybe cliche tropes that the movie does go through. I wasn't really that bothered by it. I felt like it was fine. I think that it was necessary. I can't think of what else they could have done. One thing that I will say did bother me that some people have pointed out is the way the movie is edited. It does feel very fast. It goes from Freddie Mercury joining the band Queen, and then the next scene he's playing a big sold out show. It's like, whoa, wait, where the heck, how did this happen? How did you go from just joining this band that was not very well known to having this big crowd in 1 or 2 cuts? And I know the movie's really long, that they maybe edited some stuff out, but there needed to be some transition in between some of these moments to make it feel a lot more natural with those transitions. And so that didn't ruin the movie for me. I don't think that's a big reason as to why someone won't enjoy this movie. In fact, I think people will appreciate that this movie isn't 3 hours long or 2 hours and 40 minutes. I think that it was a good decision to shorten it. I just think that maybe something simple, real short, that could have served as a transition would have been good to make that flow of time feel a little bit more natural. The other problem that people have with this movie, and I can't really judge it because I haven't studied Queen. This is literally the most I've ever learned about them. But I do know that there's some fans that have said that there was a lot of stuff that was left out, that they should have focused on a couple of more things that they didn't, that there's some historical inaccuracies or maybe just things that were left out, essentially. This movie was entertaining for me, it was informative, and I felt like I had a good overview of who this man was and how this band came to be. And so I thought the music was great. There was a lot of songs like We Will Rock You, another one, Bites the Dust, that I've heard them before, but I didn't really, I'm not an artist person with some of these older bands, and so it was cool to see, oh hey, that's by Queen. Like I said, I don't know Queen, so don't be judging me. I don't know this band very well. It's not someone I listened to growing up. Obviously, We Are the Champions is the song that I knew was by them, and so hearing all of these songs I thought was awesome. It was really nice to see how they formed, and I think definitely the strongest points of this movie are Freddie Mercury and the inner struggles that he had with certain things that you'll see when you watch this movie. And I think you should go check it out. I think that it's a fairly decent movie, and if you love Queen, I think you'll really, really enjoy it. From someone who just really didn't know anything about them, I had a really great time with it. So go check it out when you get the chance, and let me know what you thought about it. I'm gonna give Bohemian Rhapsody a B+. I love talking about movies, but one thing I love more is talking about movies with you. So leave a comment if you have an opinion or a question regarding Bohemian Rhapsody. You can also follow me on social media at EskimoTV. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more icy and chilly EskimoTV reviews.